I might be cutting in on this. I had realized between recordings that for proper calibration, I wasn't leaving them flat long enough. I'd misunderstood something, and that's my bad. Oh, well, yeah. Cool. Even then, you still have the
Yes.
sync point. But
You still have the one button. Also, in between, I went and looked at the difficulty thing, the original GameCube version, and have a difficulty as select the Wii version, and it had like normal and veteran. What they called a normal was actually an easier difficulty added to the Wii version.
Do that one more time though.
Veteran was like
Just to make cut it off.
Veteran was closer to the GameCube difficulty, so in this, what they're calling normal, in this is the GameCube difficulty, and casual is the Wii difficulty.
Okay. There we go, yeah.
And it's one of those, I don't entirely know how I, like, feel about that, because I almost feel like you should have used the... I almost feel like you should have used the Wii naming of calling the, like, lower one normal, or if not, or if not that, because people will say, difficulties to the legs are sort of already confusing because you're choosing something before.
Asshole!
Or if not that, because people will say difficulty selects are already, like, confusing because you're choosing...
That's what I was talking about with organics.
A, like, difficulty before you play the game. Just call them Wii difficulty and GameCube difficulty and let people suss it out after that, like...
That's a whole other thing. Hello, security drone.
Defeat enemies to unlock doors.
There's that extra narration.
Look at that hand-holding tutorial.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
I was talking about Wii difficulty.
Now,
Because you also have quite a few missiles. Like, because
oh no, you're not wrong.
Because missile expansions are by
There
5.
should be a missile hidden.
Isn't it on the top floor?
Hold on. I want to get this.
Because a lot of rooms look kind of samey. It might be a different room, but I swear it's higher up in one of the pillars. Again, unless I'm thinking of a later room. You also could, whip out the scan visor to see if any of the, pillars or anything have a scannable. None of them do, so if there is something hidden in here,
I thought it was in this room.
it might be a very similar room, because that is a small problem the first Prime has, is that there are a few rooms that do feel a bit asset flippy. I get why certain rooms look similar, because, it's the same facility, so there's going to be a general look to it, but at the same time, some of it feels...
Because I remember, and it's a notorious freaking missile tank for reasons, and I thought it was in the first room.
Like I said, it might actually be in a later one. Unless it is actually in here, and it is invisible, and because it is straight out in, to invisible, we would need, the X-ray or something to see it.
Okay. Okay. Because it might be in the next room then, which is funny because I remembered it being in the first room, but it might be in the next room, actually. I think it's in one of the next rooms. Because otherwise I'm going to have a massive problem with something. Which is why I wanted to find that before. It's a missile that is technically a pain in the ass to get if you don't get it when it's first available. Let's see. Have some tea. Taking a drink. Flattening out the Joy-Cons, stretching, shifting my hands. Mainly pausing because I wanted a drink and I didn't want the game shooting at me.
But remember, apparently pausing is for the weak now because Dark Souls doesn't have a fucking pause button.
See, they died to it.
Have to take a shit and all Dark Souls wants you don't.
However, like, if you really need to, a good, and you know, it might be this room actually.
They're using that stops so someone is.
There's,
Something is.
hold on, there's always a dude. Fucking find him. The music, I know why it didn't stop because
That means one of them isn't dead.
I do this every time. There's a guy hanging from like the ceiling. Usually on. He's hanging.
Oh, there he is.
Ah, I knew it! See, the wave charge shot did, like, because it does that electrical overflow, it actually does. Yeah, see, there were some dudes, but. And it stuns! That's why I said the wave beam's really not that bad.
You could also, because you have, a decent amount of missiles, like... I was going to say next time you, fight one of them fresh, see if, shooting them with one charge shot and then a missile, see how much that does.
It kills because the... Oh, that... Pump. One charge!
Stun, missile.
Yeah.
Oh, it sends the fucker flying.
Okay. This might be the one. There's a... It's like a tiny ass ledge with a missile tank on it. First off, you can shatter those.
Remember that for later.
Okay.
It's one of those, I feel like if this game had achievements or something, there would be some achievement for breaking all of those.
Hold on. Constantly trying to even do and greet. Sinking, yeah, to get my shit bearings back. Gyro works, but if I flatten out and I pick the controllers back up, because the way it's currently synced is based on where I put them initially. So if I pick them back up from a flat point, you see, I think, hold on, one. That, okay, that's the one tank, so I know what that is. And there is a good prize in that tank. So the other thing I'm thinking of, I either missed, which, I mean, if we're getting on the backtrack, it's not the worst thing. And this version of the game's a little bit different. I hate the story.
Well, at the same time, it's one of those I kind of want to, if we get the bad pain in the ass one, I kind of want to do that to show how much of a pain in the ass it is. And
Oh, I can show this now.
I was going to point that out.
It makes the turrets go nuts.
Because they're robots. Because it's mechanical, so it's weak to electricity. Like I said, the 4 because there was a dumbass child that didn't read. I thought that's how the Mega Man Zero series worked. I only ever used the electric chip because I thought everything was weak to it. I was a fool. I as a dumbass child, genuinely was like, why do they give you the ice and fire chips? These don't do anything.
Yeah, okay, one charge shot and one missile, or...
One charge shot and one missile, but...
Or two missiles.
One charge shot and one missile, but it's faster versus two charge shots. It's slower and it doesn't cost resources.
Pump that. I'll pump you, buddy. Because this thing doesn't have as fast of a fire rate, but I had plenty of missiles, and I'm generally...
I swear I remember the wave beam because it was electricity was supposed to be the fast one. I remember it being like the fast weak one, so like...
No.
Yeah.
It's mid-speed.
What I might be thinking of is I think the wave beam, the way the arm cannon spreads out, I think they used that as the light beam in Prime 2, so I think that's why I was thinking of it, because I believe it, like... Yeah, that, like, wavy line thing was a light beam, and the, like...
Oh, wait.
And the...
Hold on. Depth perception screwed me up again. It's this. Jump. It's not jump, but it works.
And also, fully admit this is one of those probably because of, like, playing Prime...
There's a save point at the top of this room. So as long as you're not, like, you know, doing too bad...
As long as you're not an Egoraptor.
Hold on. Damn it. I hit the wrong button. It's this.
Got a boost ball.
Use the boost to get through.
This is probably... I'll fully admit this is...
Whoa.
This is one of those scenarios of, like, starting with Prime first and going backwards. It feels weird, like how I genuinely cannot play a Mega Man game, but an X game, but for the, like, Zero series, because I have adjusted too much to playing with the charge saber slash. Unlike a lot of people that, because they started with the old Metroid games, they were used to beam stacking, and then Prime is the weird one where you swap. For me, it's reverse. Yeah. I prefer swapping over beam stacking.
Gonna reset my crap.
Because I feel like when you have...
That calibration to flatten it did fix my problems, and backing up fixed it.
When you have the swapping over... Like, the swapping over beam stacking, I feel like that, at least in theory, because, you know, each one is a different weapon, like...
There's a save point. Hold on. I want the save. There it is.
That's kind of dick game. Like, putting save points now... Oh, to be fair, the game is at least pretty generous with enemies dropping missiles, especially because I think it is...
Oh, speaking of missiles, though. That's a super missile.
That's the big boy.
Super missile. Come to mama. So, this game has a unique, weird premise that you wouldn't actually know is a thing because it's hidden. Every beam has a missile bonus type. Super missiles are the power beam bonus. You cannot super missile with the wave beam.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Because the wave beam has its own super missile. And yes, I realize that gets confusing because super missile is what it was called in older Metroid games. They're all considered super missiles, even though the properties of every other beam type super missile equivalent are radically different. And again, it gives a thing of each, like...
Oh yeah, just
each beam's super missile type, I feel, is another example to was having different beams. You actually have different like uses for all of these.
Well, there's also the other thing that this game. Now, well oh, I keep doing that. God damn it! Keep thinking. If you wonder why I jump around like a madman, I keep thinking B is exit. It's not B.
A or X actually would get you out.
Hold on. I can explain. Look, if you have a target and you lock on, you can scan stuff. But if you don't have a target, you can just hit A and get out.
Or X and get out.
Yeah. Oh, I can actually. Hold on. Show up. Pre-charge. Boom! Shakalaka.
He's heating up.
Now, it uses 5 missiles.
Why is that what super missiles?
Missile.
Well, actually, no. Super missiles are normally their own thing. There was nothing left.
Eviscerated. 100%. And because of the lock-on properties, they're homing.
Yes.
They're kind of gross, honestly.
And this is the first one. It can only go up from here, right? Right? Okay, I make a joke.
No! Hold on.
Okay, I make a
It
joke.
was a fun! Damn it. It was, I know I'm using missiles like crazy.
Because, you say you're using missiles like crazy, but remember, the missile pickups are like 5.
They're 5, yes.
So, when you get a missile pickup, that effectively recharges a super missile. Because another thing, at least for the standard super...
Remember this!
For later. This is one of those times you just have foreshadowing, go across the screen. For, the, standard super missile combo, the power beam, one... Besides it having that, splash effect, because that's the...
I did it again.
God
damn it. I do this every time I'm up here.
Right.
I always get turned around. I almost went out the other door. Progression is this way.
Besides...
Oh, I can explain the one thing. So, you log on to, stuff. It's a scan. So, because you log on to scan, A deactivates it. It's... I keep... My mind keeps thinking it was B.
Anyway, it was the, super missile besides the explosion, the other thing, because it cost 5 missiles. I believe it literally is the damage
Of 5 missiles.
So it's that is a chunky boy, but there's a reason that's a chunky boy. That is a powerful boy as well.
Hashtag the power.
Yes. Especially as
Oh, pretty. Ain't that some shit? It's a Metroid!
Or is it? Does it break out of the container here or not? Because if you can scan that thing,
I'm pretty sure it breaks out of the container.
Huh. Oh, no.
Recorded to logbook.
You can scan it, though.
New creatures are added.
Talon Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
All these things were supposed to exist in... All these things were supposed to only exist on the one planet. And just like regular Metroids, they're weak to missiles.
As is everything.
Though it can't quite do the one combo yet. That'll be later. The classic Metroid combo. That's so much of
because of the beam fire rate, I wanted to show just the damage difference. See, it's about the same power, but this beam's a little bit faster. See, so, but if you're using this beam, because of how it shoots.
Well, we also
Give me that.
We also have the other thing of, remember, this game added that thing where when you, like, hold down the button to start charging, a charge shot wins.
Yeah.
A beam Samus will, like, fire more extra shots than normal, and I like that because I feel like the reason they did that, because it's actually just holding down the button to do that. At the beginning of the game, when you...
Wait!
This might be the room is
The fucking room I was looking for! See that stupid track? Look, there's a missile on it. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So anyway, how do you feel about the super missiles being tied to the power beam as its beam combo? Like I said in the video, each beam can get its own equivalent of the super missiles, meaning each beam has its own beam combo. And while I'm calling them an equivalent of the super missiles, that's technically not fully true, but we talk about that way later. That's not my point. My point is the super missiles are tied to the power beam, which I think is fine because that gives each beam a unique bonus, meaning if you want to use it, you need to switch weapons. And in my opinion, this adds a level of utility to every beam if you wanted the specific bonus. And super missiles are consistently really good damage, meaning the power beam actually has a really good damage output if you're willing to use 5 missiles in order to shoot a super missile, because the damage is quite ridiculous, honestly. And I think it was a smart decision to design the game this way, especially because of something we talk about way later. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shield for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.